What's going on, everybody? It's your boy King Gabe here with another toy review. This time we are looking at Barricade, Decepticon Barricade from the very first live-action Transformer movie, directed, of course, by Michael Bay. And I know that there is a lot of, feelings toward the movie from different sides. You got a lot of people who really enjoyed these movies, even with, and even acknowledging some flaws in it, obviously, but they still had a really good time. I'm really in that group more so, where, I do acknowledge some flaws, but I definitely did have a really good time, especially the first movie. That really kicked this franchise off in the cinematic view, and it really I feel like the first Transformer movie really set the stage for a lot of what we would see in team ensemble movies like Avengers and stuff on the big screen. Especially it came out in '07, right before the first Iron Man movie. So yeah, they really set the stage for team ensemble cinematic films there, in my opinion. Especially with how the different the Autobots and Decepticons lined up and everything. Especially like the Autobots' first appearance, when they all gathered together with Bumblebee, and had that dun 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 dun. And then of course the Decepticons with really, I mean, we know the Decepticons are obviously the villains, ever since the G1 cartoon, Transformers, robots in disguise, Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. But man, what sort of like the G1 first animated movie got really epic at the very beginning of the movie and kind of dark to the PG rating. The first live action Transformers of '07 really upped the scale of epicness. The Decepticons, even with Barricade, showing up to take on Bumblebee, they showed these Decepticons were not playing around, and they were scary. And that really showed you how serious and how much of a grand scale the danger was in this adaptation of the Transformers franchise. So, yeah, that and like I say, yeah, we'll look at Barricade, and there's another one that I'm gonna have in another video. I'm not gonna tell you yet, but you'll see when the next toy review comes out, right after this one soon. But yeah, there is another one, but the one I'm gonna do next and Barricade here, in my opinion, are two of the scariest of the Decepticons. Of course, besides Megatron. Megatron, yeah, obviously, especially the first movie. You failed me again, Starscream. Get them! So, yeah, these guys were scary. Now, you're looking at Barricade's vehicle mode. Just say, you're watching this and maybe you haven't seen the movies, and, you just clicked on it just to see what this toy review is like. Probably, okay, Gabe, I see it's a cop car and everything, but what's so scary about it? Well, you'll see when it goes to robot mode, but that's okay. And you notice I got my, you notice there's some blue light shine off from my ring light. I set my ring light to blue. I just kind of thought that might look pretty cool there, Let me know what you guys think. Y'all think the blue light looks good on Barricade, or maybe, maybe if you were filming this, maybe like, well, I don't really like the blue light, Gabe. Well, let me know. What kind of light would you use there? Just curious, I kind of like, and then with the ring light, I really like trying, not putting it always on the same setting. I'd like to kind of play around with it and stuff like that, like anything I get, just to sort of test the waters and, give you guys something new in each video, So, anyway, as you can see, he's got a good little design here. He got 643 police. I think that's actually supposed to mean something for the Transformers franchise there. I'm not completely sure, but I think it's some type of hint at something. I'm pretty sure anybody who knows and watching this probably would tell me. Got police, of course. Let's see. Trying to see what that writing. Let me see what that writing says. Okay, you got the Decepticon logo, obviously. Yeah, right there. Yep. Decepticon logo. Oh yeah, police, of course. Decepticon. And then got 643 again. Then right here, since he is a Decepticon, meaning one of the bad guys, this is a cop car to punish and enslave. Emergency 911 respond. Yeah, he's not going to be coming to fight for justice there. This is a cop. This is the bad cop here. Bad cop here. Now they do have a cop. They do have a cop car transformer that actually is an Autobot called Red Alert. I actually found out that he was going to be used in the movie, but he was actually going to be used in the movie because at first they didn't want to show the police being evil. But focus groups actually were like, nah, go ahead and show Barricade. So Barricade, they just went with it, you know. So that's how we got Barricade. Okay. So yeah, not really, you know, here's the underside and everything. Pretty much like your typical underside of most of these, you know, especially vehicle transformers there. All the robot mode kibble that obviously is going to be coming out blends in really well on the bottom side there. You can't even see the robot mode. You can see it, but of course the robot mode head is not positioned where you can see the face. Now, like with Bumblebee, you know, you could see his face even in the movie. Like the movie even showed his face at the bottom when Carly went under the hood in the Bumblebee movie. So yeah, but even with that, yeah, it's still really rolls pretty decently. Yeah, I will say now there are a couple of there are some nitpicks. One, while his police car form is a good sculpt and everything and it's put together really good. You notice if you have to kind of look closely, but you do, have some pieces sort of sticking out a little bit. Some of you might, and I mean, it might not be completely noticeable. Only reason I noticed it because, like I say, it was packaged in robot mode, and I changed it back to its, to the cop car mode, and I transformed it a couple of times before the review. So that's kind of how I know. And it kind of going from robot back to car mode. It kind of, for the first time, it can be it's not completely difficult, but it can be a little difficult going back into its car mode, especially depending on how your figure is. Obviously, this was a used figure from the McCary app, so but he's still in good shape there. But he's holding. But when I first changed him back to his cop car mode, it had a little difficulty there, and then plus you're trying not to tear him up and anything. So, but I think once you kind of get used to doing it, it actually comes out pretty good there. Once you kind of get used to doing it there. And of course, he does have a weapon. This is supposed to be for his robot mode, of course. This is the other nitpick. Unlike most of the Transformers that I've reviewed so far, mostly I've reviewed Maximals and Predacons, and now I'm starting with, Autobots and Decepticons. But most of the Transformers I review, regardless of, what side they were on, usually at least had somewhere to store their weapon in their alt mode. Now, of course, you do have exceptions like Optimus Primal, where he has multiple, like his swords and stuff like that, which can be stored on him in beast mode. But a lot of time I just put them in like a Ziploc bag or something. Probably be the same with this one because it's not really, because especially with this thing here that spins around, of course, like a little fan. But you see, it's kind of like got blades and stuff on it. I think that's kind of what he had going in the movie. Yeah, you can't really, not really, yeah, because that's not gonna go underneath like the way any other weapons would. Trying to see, because of course, since this was used, they didn't mail, like the instructions with it or anything like that, but it doesn't seem like there's really any place to put this. And so it's just kind of hanging to the side when he's in vehicle mode. Just have to make sure you don't lose it. But but yeah, I think that's the only other nitpick. I mean, maybe a few, but this is probably the only biggest of, something that kind of like, about. But other than that, yeah. So let's get to transforming them, shall we? Okay. We are going to kind of break him open. He sort of, it's been a while, but I probably would get Bumblebee at some point. But I think from what I remember, last time I had Bumblebee, he sort of transforms similar to how Barricade does a little bit. The Camaro, the Bumblebee that's a Camaro. So okay, so yeah, you're gonna do this kind of just start opening them up a little bit. Opening them up. Yep, and then one thing I definitely want to say, really, I know Gennara's been looking at a lot of the toy reviews, sort of like Casey, because I know Casey really enjoys these toy reviews too. And I like that Gennara enjoys them there here recently. And one thing I mentioned in the comments to her, that little fun fact that these actually make good fidget toys. Yeah, especially trying to adapt to transforming them and stuff. It's really good, especially for someone that's autistic there. So anywho, I'm gonna get this legs there, kind of bring them out there. He's gonna be kind of on the skinny side with his arms and legs a bit there, kinda. But this was kind of how he was in the movie. So it is accurate to the movie. The majority of this, yeah, maybe a few differences. But most of them, they pretty much got it like the movie. Let's see, guys, right there. Okay, let's see. I think, yeah, there we go. Okay, kind of snap those in place. Now we got to bring down the chest there. What's gonna be the chest for Robot Mode? Let's kind of be working the parts as you're doing this here. That's what makes them. That's another thing that really makes them really good for fidget toys. There, yeah, especially you overstimulate a little bit. Just kind of get yourself a transformer. Just sort of feeling that kind of it might possibly, the stiff might possibly get you feeling better there. Okay, bring the robot mode head up there, and now let's see, just trying to make sure okay, yeah, bring this, yeah, flip that around, and that will, yeah, it'll pop back on, don't worry. Oh boy, yeah, it's done that. Okay, I thought this folded in, but no, it doesn't. Okay, so let's yeah, bring it back like I had it. That'll kind of help condense the backpack a bit. It's just gonna kind of rest here, I think. Yeah, and let's see. Then you're gonna let's see. Try to get this where it can connect here. Let's see. I think there's a connector port there. Oh yeah, sort of kind of work with them there. Like I say, the vehicle. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, kind of work to get this right here into that port. Yeah, there we come on. Okay, maybe. Yeah, okay. Ah, there we go. And right, yeah, kind of it's going in. It's not, the connection is not gonna be perfect, but that's kind of where it's going. This just kind of hangs back here. Yeah, and then kind of straighten his legs out. Yeah, it's kind of come. It's a little loose there. It's not like snap connected, but that's pretty much the best you're gonna get there. Yeah, and just kind of let's see, maybe. It might. Let's see, it might be something. Yeah, I'm trying to see maybe if there's something I'm missing here. Maybe missing when I was transforming them previously. Because, you know, sometime you learn some things from the first time you transform them. Yeah, so. Okay, got his head up. This sleeve flap just kind of stay like that. And I think that's how you got it. This is how he's gonna be. Oh boy, it's kind of work with standing him up a little bit because, like I say, he really, and this is pretty close to the movie. It's not so they got that for the most part. They do have a movie accurate there. So looks like he's standing up better than he did the first time I was going to play with him there. Let's see, kind of get him centered where I can zoom in on him there, so you can see. Here we go. Sorry about knocking the camera. So yeah, that's Barricade. Yeah, he is scary looking. Yeah, look at that face. Ooh, that's some nightmare fuel for you. Yeah, but he's a Decepticon. He scared the bejeebus out of Sam in the movie. And you I'm not sure completely, I think you're supposed to kind of have these like that, sort of. Yeah, you kind of, I mean, if you want, you can look up, I should have probably done that, but you can look up if there's a certain way to have these, or just put these little front pieces however you want. In my opinion, I don't think it really matters, but, you know, like I say, if you really want, if you just want to be accurate, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. But, yeah, other than that, yeah, he's, like I say, he is a very fierce, scary looking bot here. And yeah, like I say, he, first time when he appeared in the movie, he came up, like Sam, he was, I think, he was kind of running from Bumblebee at first. Then he saw Barricade in his cop car mode. He's like, hey, look, my car has been following me here. I rode here on my mother's bike, so get out the car. Whoa, 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 oh my Lord. And then he transformed and was coming after Sam and had him down on the ground. Say, are you using? It's like, are you username Ladies Man 217? Like, oh, what the? Are you username Ladies Man 217? Where is the eBay item 126? Where are the glasses? you know, Barricade. Maybe Sam might could give you the information if you weren't all up in his face and going talking like a horror movie Tasmanian devil. So, yeah, like I say, articulation wise, he can't really turn at the waist. That's due to the little thing going on here, where he had to connect that. He can turn his head around, full 360. Just kind of be careful, you know, careful not to break his head. You kind of can pull it up a little bit. It makes it easier for him to turn around. Yep. Like so. Just be advised, just like here, you are going to have some loose joints there. Not completely loose, but mostly I think this is basically going to be your biggest issue. Just, yeah, because that it connects in there, but it doesn't like snap into place. But yeah, like I say, you know, he'll, I want to, well, I thought maybe if I took that off, you know, he could turn around and stuff, but no, he can't. The legs, he can just bend at the knee. Can't really turn the legs around, but he could do some pretty good kicks, you know. Yep. Hands, kind of limited because of how they look. It sort of reminds me of that Skybite that I sold, not the one I have now, but the other Skybite that was like a remake of the figure. And this is kind of what they had going on with the hands. But honestly, despite the limitation of the hands, for Barricade, because of how he was in the movie, this actually, in my opinion, kind of works, because it definitely adds to this sort of horror monster feature like thing. He kind of, yeah, he sort of got like a horror monster thing going, like a creature feature kind of look going on here. So definitely, it definitely worked for his first appearance. And then I remember in Transformers Last Night, he showed up. He did show up again in Revenge of the Fallen. I don't think he really, was in it as much as he was the first movie, but he did show up again in in the Last Night. Not the best Transformer movie, but he showed up there. But they gave him sort of a different cop car form, and he still looked kind of scary. But this form from the very first movie, if you're looking for a very scary looking Decepticon, this right here is pretty much what I would go for if you want Barricade at his scariest there. And then, of course, his weapon. And you can put it probably, I would say put it in this hand here. Yeah, it goes right. Yeah, just like that. It does go in his hand. And yep, just spin it around. I guess it's supposed to be like some cutting blades or something like that. He did, yeah, and it did, because it was the scene with Barricade was being shown so fast when he was, like fighting and stuff. But I do remember getting a glimpse of something like this. So, yeah, I guess that's his weapon there, I don't know if he does any others, but yeah, like I say, that. So, yeah, that is Barricade. And to say the scary looking Transformer, and like I say, my next video, there will be another kind of horror looking Transformer. Barricade might possibly win out of the two, though, as far as the scariest there. So, yeah, we'll see when I go to my next video. You'll find out, is the other one going to be the scariest, or is Barricade the winner here? But until then, like I say, definitely like, share, and subscribe. Definitely get our available books, and also definitely support us on the. I think let's say, hold up. Okay, I thought maybe. Okay, sorry about that. There. Okay. So I guess you just leave this the way it is there. Okay, my bad. Anywho, let me start again. Okay, like, share, subscribe, get our available books. Definitely support us on the Patreon, just like Iceman Universe. Check out his stuff like Hey Arnold, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Gay Ed Nettie, Naruto, One Piece, and Spy Family. Support the Miracle Crew. Yours truly, King Gay, Queen Tina, Big Sis Casey, Janara Nellens, Jen, also Chris Godfrey, also known as Jen, and of course, EJO Supreme. And definitely, hang out with us on the live stream, Discord, and on Facebook. And definitely, let's say just stuff on the Macari app. That's how I got this guy and the other one I'm about to show you in a minute. That I'll show you in the next video. Got them from the Macari app. So, and also one other thing I want to mention before I close out. He because this was used there, this was a used figure, but still in good shape. He felt, I don't know what it was, but he felt kind of sticky a little bit when I got him out the packaging, but I don't really feel that right now. I guess whatever stickiness he had on him must have worn off or something. So, okay. Anyway, that's it, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all take care, everybody. Peace out, and are you using the name LadyBan 217?